Hello everybody, Trent here and welcome back to the Bright Ideas Nugget video number 103. Now you'll notice previously I used to call these the Daily Nugget and I have been anything but daily, and so now I'm thinking maybe I should just call them the Nugget video. In any case, I have a lot to share with you in this video. Some of our talking points are going to be my current top priorities, my plans for the future, what I'm reading and why. But before we get into that, for those of you who have been regular viewers of my videos, you'll notice that I have not published a video since August 27th. So, where have I been? Well, my Amazon business has gone through an extremely difficult period of time, and as a result of that, I have been highly focused on fixing the problem. So I kind of want to share with you guys what happened because I guess I want you to know a couple things. One, us gurus experience tough times just like everybody else does. Two, things that my team and I did wrong that contributed to the difficulties that we suffered, and hopefully you won't repeat those errors. And three, to hopefully demonstrate to you some of the resilience that you'll need to develop, because every entrepreneur goes through tough times, and believe me, this has been a very, very difficult time. So what happened? Well, our number one brand had commoditized products, and so their sales declined 68% year over year. As you might imagine, that had a significant impact on our sales. And then to make matters worse, when they came to us and they said, "What's going on?" and we said, "Well, you have commoditized products." Basically, they're just private label products, and we should have known better, but it was a good gravy train in the beginning, so nobody says no to a good gravy train. We tried to say to them, "Look, you guys need to differentiate your products. You need to create some different packaging. You need to do something because you've got all these new competitors that have come onto the scene, and that's why your sales are declining." So naturally, they didn't believe us. And they did the one thing that we counseled them not to do, and that was they added more Amazon sellers to the listings. Can you believe it? We had an exclusive, and they thought that by adding more sellers, they would ramp up sales. Obviously, that did not happen. What has happened? Race to the bottom on price. Everything that we told them was going to happen, happened. So that was our largest account. But that's not all. Then one of our other major accounts decided that, well, we want to ramp up our sales too, and Amazon has been after us to sell them product directly, so we're going to give it a try. And we gave them all sorts of reasons why that was a bad idea. We gave them all sorts of blog posts written by other people why that was a bad idea. But nonetheless, they pursued that decision anyway, so now we don't have the buy box for that product line. Then, as if that wasn't enough, in addition, one of our other top 5 accounts decided to take their sales in-house in their own Seller Central account. So we lost all of that revenue. That was about a $60,000 a month account. And as if that wasn't enough, then we also have run out of stock on one of our other top 5 major accounts. How bad did it get? Revenue has declined 65% from our peak. Our peak was $280,000 a month, and we are down 65%. As you might imagine, that has been a very, very tough pill to swallow. Now, here is one of the takeaways. What I've just explained makes it look like it wasn't our fault, and that's not true. The reality is that we also made a critical mistake. So, back at $280,000 a month in revenue, we were feeling pretty good. Lots of profits every single day, fat, dumb, and happy, as it were. In and around that time, the fellow that we had working for us, who was our full-time sourcing agent, who basically used our web's system to get us from the $100,000 a month that I got us to $280,000 a month, basically doing email sourcing, I think he got bored, or I think he lost interest, or what have you, but he must have mentally checked out a couple of months before he actually quit, and his results reflected that fact. And then after he quit, we didn't immediately start sourcing. I let it slide. We just stopped because, again, our revenue was so high. I thought, never in my wildest dreams did I thought that so many bad things could happen all at one period of time. And so revenue started to slide a little bit, but hey, no big deal. We're still making lots of money. Well, over the next 3 months, while I was focused on getting the Flowster software platform launched, while we were focused on getting Webs launched, while we were focused on a massive update to Webs, we didn't do any sourcing at all. Who's to blame for that? This guy right here. I'm the guy in charge. I'm the guy who bears 100% responsibility for that really stupid decision. So, my takeaway for you here is this. No matter how good things are going, don't ever stop sourcing. As you might imagine, we are now exceedingly focused on fixing this problem, and I'll get to that more in a minute. By the way, while I'm crying over all my spilt milk here, I'm filming this the day before Thanksgiving. You guys are going to be getting this in your inbox today. I do want to take a moment to wish you and your family a very happy Thanksgiving week. I hope that you stuff yourselves silly with turkey or whatever your family tradition is, and that you enjoy the time off. I know that we plan on doing exactly the same thing. Okay, so what's next on my agenda? So I did a survey recently, and not very many of you filled it out, only because in our most recent email broadcast, that longer format that I debuted, I think it was last week, the fact that there was a survey link in there really wasn't displayed very prominently at all. The survey results were extremely encouraging, and I'm going to put screenshots in the post below this video. I want to just quickly summarize them with you, and I want to ask you, please, if you have not taken 2 minutes to do this survey, there will be a link right below this video that will take you to that survey. And it is the feedback that you're going to give me is going to be incredibly helpful in helping me to determine the strategy on how best to help all of my viewers going forward. As a matter of fact, this video is happening today. I've been thinking about, I got to get back to my videos. But once I saw these survey results, I thought, oh man, I need to do a video today. So here I am doing the video today. So the very first thing, we got what's called an NPS score of 88 out of 100. That was actually much better than I expected. That means that 88% of the people on a scale of 1 to 10 rated us how likely they would be to recommend Bright Ideas to a friend as either a 9 or a 10. So for those of you who did that, thank you very much. That is very positive feedback for myself and my team, and really, really appreciate it. Then, and there's about 10 questions. I asked where the average person's, which of the following best describes your e-commerce business? The overwhelming response, about 50% of respondents, was under $5,000 a month. And then which of the following do you find most valuable in helping you to learn new skills? And my Daily Nugget videos came out number 1, even ahead of the podcast interviews and well ahead of written posts. So when I saw that, I thought, my gosh, Trent, you really got to get off your duff and start making more Daily Nugget videos. Now going forward, they're just going to be Nugget videos because I don't know that I'll be able to keep doing them daily because we've got some priorities to address, and I'll get more into that. I'm not going to read the rest of the survey. I will put some screenshots down below the video. Please, though, take 2 minutes. There's only like 10 questions. Take 2 minutes, click that button, and give me your feedback, because the number of respondents so far is not enough to represent my audience as a whole. In other words, it's not enough of a sample set, so I really don't know if the people who have responded are an accurate representation of everyone who watches my videos and opens my emails and reads my blog and so forth. Okay, so what are my top priorities these days? Well, as you might guess, digging my Amazon business out of the hole that it slid into is my number 1 priority. Every single person on my team, and there are 3 full-timers up there right now, my wife and 2 others, they all know that their number 1 priority is using our web system to ramp sourcing back up. In addition to that form of sourcing, which is what got us to $280,000 per month, I am doing my personal responsibilities a slightly different form of sourcing. I'm using my podcast to network with potential brand owners to see whether or not we can start a conversation about becoming a seller of their products. And we're targeting very large brands when we do this. And so far, the early indication is that this approach is working, at least from the perspective of getting conversations started. In the last 2 weeks, I think I've talked to 4 different brands, all of who are doing between 500,000 and $1 million per month on Amazon about becoming one of their authorized third-party sellers. And those conversations have legs. We actually got a yes from one of them, although we're just working through the details, so it's not absolutely a done deal yet. Any one of those brands, if they were to say yes, we would immediately come rocketing out of the hole that we're in, and honestly probably go up $300,000-$400,000 a month in sales, because these are significantly sized brands. So all hands on deck when it comes to sourcing. So what else is happening? Well, I've talked in the past about my National Motorsports Owners Association. I went down to the SEMA show recently, which is a large trade show for the motorsports industry. While I was at the show, I ran around and I talked to 45 or 50 different brands about my sponsored contest strategy, where I attempt to recruit them to donate product to an online giveaway, as well as to help promote the giveaway. I have secured 7 sponsors. We're getting ready to run the first contest. If it works, obviously we're going to continue to do it again and again and again. And if it doesn't work, I may kibosh the entire experiment, simply because sometimes I feel like I'm spreading myself too thin. So stay tuned on that. I will talk about that more in future videos. And the other, and I guess these two are kind of synonymous, because my plans for the future are obviously addressing the priorities. The other major thing that we are working on is continuing to develop the Flowster platform and providing more free SOPs, or more free done for you SOPs on the Flowster platform. Now, these will not be Amazon seller SOPs. Instead, they will be e-commerce SOPs. So what we're doing is, we have one of our VAs, I'll find a blog post someplace that I think, well, this is a really instructional blog post. Maybe it's on Social Media Examiner, maybe it's wherever we find it, because I read lots of different blog posts. And we're giving those blog posts to a virtual assistant to basically turn that information into a standard operating procedure, and those will be made available for free on the Flowster platform. So obviously we want to grow that platform. Of all of my businesses, I think that Flowster has the most potential by far to grow into a really big organization with a very high market valuation. But we've got to, baby step and get there step by step. And in the beginning, getting done for you content, I think, is going to make the platform more appealing to more people. So that's something that we're working on. I do want to do more videos like this going forward, given that I've got the other priorities that I just addressed. I'm not exactly sure how often they're going to be. The more questions that get submitted by you guys, the more feedback that I get from you guys, the more videos you're going to get. On the other hand, if you're just passively watching the videos and you don't make any comments and you don't submit any questions, and you submit your questions to Brightideas.co/asktrent, but if nobody is asking for more videos, it's going to be less. If a lot of people are asking for videos and describing, how they would like to help them in the video, and that's what the survey is for, as well as submitting your questions, then I will do more videos. Okay. What have I, okay, covered that. More free SOPs, talking about one other of my priorities. For those of you who are interested in real estate, I have become much more of an active real estate investor this year. Earlier, maybe 2 months ago, we completed the purchase of a commercial building. It's an 18,000 square foot building here in Garden City, Idaho, where we're located. We haven't moved yet. I'm still in the old office that we rent. We're getting ready to move there, hopefully by the middle of December. And that business is intended to be a passive income business. There's a lot of tenants in the building. We're experiencing some tenant turnover. We're making some improvements and some renovations. And so I'm learning a whole lot about being a commercial real estate landlord. The other thing that we're working on is we have just got 2 acres under contract to purchase with a home on it. Now we're going to actually move onto those 2 acres, and then we're going to rezone and subdivide those 2 acres. Now we're not going to sell off all the lots. The plan there is to build as many fourplexes on that property as we can. And we're liquidating all of our other real estate to do that, because that will again be another source of passive income that will hopefully shield us from downturns in the future. So real estate is a huge passion of mine, and I may or may not talk about it more in future videos. This is an e-commerce blog, so real estate is a little off track, but nonetheless, I do like to share some of the things I'm working on. And finally, what am I reading right now? Right now, I'm reading a book called High Performance Habits by Brendan Burchard. Now, I've never really been a huge Brendan fan. The guy's been around for years. And it doesn't really matter why I wasn't a fan in the past, but nonetheless, as we've been going through this very, very difficult time, as you might imagine, I haven't always had a huge smile on my face every single day. Big surprise. And I thought, maybe a week or 2 ago, I was really down in the dumps because this has been tough to deal with. 65% decline in revenue. I mean, that just kicks you in the nuts. I've been looking for ways to get my attitude back where it needs to be. And this is part of being a resilient entrepreneur. Don't fail in a vacuum. Don't suffer in a vacuum. When things are tough and your head game is not where it needs to be, you need to feed it some positive food. And so I've always been made a habit of listening to podcasts and so forth. But what stuck out about this book for me is Brendan and his team did a study of a large number of super successful people to try and understand what it was that made them so successful on an ongoing basis. And by successful, he doesn't just mean making a lot of money. Because to be honest with you, we made more money this year than I have ever made in my entire life. But while we were going through this really difficult period, that didn't put a smile on my face. So making money is part of being successful, but being happy and experiencing joy and satisfaction are every bit as important as making money when it comes to being successful. So I'm very interested in understanding what these 6 habits are, how I can implement them, how I can improve myself. So if you're looking for a book to read, in my case, I listen to it on Audible. I highly encourage that you head over to Amazon, read the reviews, check it out, and see if it is for you. All right, it's been a long nugget video, so we're going to wrap it up. Couple of things. If you enjoyed this video, it would mean the world to me if you left a comment underneath the video and said why you enjoyed it. It would also mean the world to me if you could submit questions. If you want to share this video, that would be incredibly valuable. My audience is a reasonably good size, but it's by no means a big audience. And obviously, I would like the size of the audience to grow. That's why I produce this content. So if you can help me do that by spreading the word a little bit, I would be extremely grateful. So that's it for now. There is going to be more videos to come. I am going to give you updates on the things that we're working on, how we're digging ourselves out, how the contests are going, how the software platform is going, and many, many more things. So thank you very much for tuning in. Have a wonderful Thanksgiving break, and we will see you again soon in another Nugget video. Take care. Bye-bye.